Jail overcrowding in Nueces County. It's been a perennial problem here, but today commissioners agreed to spend some money to hopefully reduce the jail population. It's called Cite in lieu of arrest. It's a new tool that law officers can use in lieu of jail time for some minor offenses. Rudy Trevino breaks it all down for us in this report.
There are 7 misdemeanor offenses which law enforcement officers will now have discretion to either give the alleged offender a ticket or make an arrest.
It could, in fact, help us keep that jail population at an acceptable level.
Nueces County Sheriff J.C. Hooper says the Cite in lieu of arrest program will depend on the use of this machine. It's called a live scan. It's an inkless electronic fingerprinting device that digitizes and transmits directly to the Department of Justice, which then checks the fingerprints against known criminal history records.
Then it will run basically the background check, which is what would normally happen if you were booked into jail.
Today, Nueces County commissioners approved the purchase of the live scan device at just under $10,000, an initial investment that law enforcement believes will save time and money.
You know, people will think that this is a free-for-all. Well, instead, this is smart-for-all because it saves all of us taxpayer money, saves the county taxpayer money, and it gives us the opportunity to have people still atone for these offenses, but have the officer have discretion for him or her to make that arrest or to give a citation in lieu of effecting the arrest.
The 7 Class A or B misdemeanors include theft, possession of marijuana, possession of synthetic marijuana, graffiti, criminal mischief, criminal trespass, and possession of contraband in a correctional facility.
You're still accountable for what you're accused of. You're still going to have to make a court appearance, and you're still ultimately going to have to face the prosecutor, the judge, or the jury for whatever offense you were cited.
Law enforcement and the district attorney making it clear Cite in lieu of arrest is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Rudy Trevino, 3 News.